Hey, what's up? This is Josh from Bumblebear. I'm here to share some more details about the music in Abs versus the Blood Queen. So I showed some music a few weeks ago. We've progressed since then. At that point, we were just recording loops and then playing those back procedurally, but we're doing something new and exciting. So what we're doing now is I'm using this open source synthesizer. It's called HELM, which is great. I highly recommend this. Very powerful, free synthesizer. So I'm using this I'm creating instruments in this for every game element, like the enemies, the wall that chases you, the pickups, berries, things like that. So let me just show you kind of how this works first. So like I have this hooked up to I have this MIDI keyboard that's attached to HELM right now. So you can see I'm like playing now, and I can change the sound of this, of what it's generating. So here I'm changing like the waveform. I could add distortion. Change the envelope. This one's pretty fun. What else we got? Okay, so I'm using this to create all types of instruments. There's lots of presets in here, which is largely what I've been using so far, just to get a head start on the game. They sound awesome. Okay, so I assigned each a different instrument to each game element, and then I'm recording different melodies, or I guess like little riffs for each game element here in Cubase. And so like here's a bass layer. I just play this. This music is just like always present, just to give a little bit of backdrop in the game. And so there's like two 4-bar clips here, and it just will randomly pick between each of these clips in the game. Now, what's different? Like the last time I showed it, I would record these into a WAV file, and then it would just play back the sound, like as if you're listening to like a song over Spotify or something. But now what it's doing is I'm actually taking this MIDI data, which you can see here. You can see like the notes, like this is a 2-note chord here. It's taking this MIDI data and it's actually using HELM, the synthesizer I just showed you, to synthesize this from within the game. So this is the bass layer. I'll add in, like, here's the layer for the spikes. So it's like a drum layer. And then say the enemies come in. This is the layer for the enemies. I'll slowly turn off some of these other layers just because it gets too too thick if I don't turn some of them off. There's the lava. The fireballs. Fireflies, which are like the pickups. And the bugs, which are like a really good pickup. It's kind of a modification of the fireflies. It's the same melody, but a different instrument. And just to be clear, like when I click this S for solo, that turns on that layer. Here's the snail. It's like kind of a cute little melody. Gates. What did I miss? Oh, the wall. Here's the wall of death. Okay, so let me show you this in game now. So basically I just export all these as MIDI files, and then I bring them into the game. We have a bunch of code written that then plays them back. So yeah, here we go. Let's check it out. You'll notice at the start of the game, you're gonna hear you're gonna hear the wall of death coming at me because it's pretty close to me. That's that. See how it's getting louder? As it gets closer to me, it gets louder and louder. Let me run away from it. Now you can hear the balls coming soon. I'm gonna use the cheat mode just to get it far enough ahead of it so you hear some other stuff. The melody you're hearing now is from these exploding balls. Here's the enemy, that chime is from these enemies. And so like the volume will like, it'll be more prominent if there are more enemies and if they're closer to you. So now you can hear the hi-hats. The hi-hats are because of this lava down here. Oh, if you notice, there's the melody for the bug up there. Yeah, and the drums here, let me go back. See the spikes at the top of the screen? That's why you're hearing the drums playing. So the last thing I want to mention is each of these tracks, it's being like randomized between two different riffs, but it's also randomizing the harmony as we go along, and actually each riff is randomizing independently, and there's some rules behind it. It's like not entirely random, but it does it has a really interesting unsettling effect because like it's very atonal in the sense that like the music doesn't resolve in the way that you would normally resolve music, and so like you know, for this game, which we're going for like an unsettled feel, I think it's a really good fit. It leads to some very dissonant sounds at times, but like that's kind of what we like about it. It's like, you know, pretty intense and weird, and you know, and just creates this tension, I guess. So there you go. That's a preview of where we're at with the music for Abs and Blood Queen. Also, hopefully you got to see some cool gameplay here as well. So thanks for checking it out.